actually happens is that when you realize that and you live in the present moment and you start treating every person with good, with positive intent, every beggar asks you for $20 and you don't want to give it, but you know that that $20 is going to help him much more than it'll help you because you're good anyway. You got yourself a nice home and a whatever and blah, blah, blah. The more you do these actions, you stack hasanat right now. And the afterlife is not a moment after you die. It's every moment after now. The moment that you, me, and Sneeko are sitting here from across the world and thousands of viewers are watching us. What? They go out after this and they switch their intention. There's no tomorrow. There's no waiting to tomorrow for the gym. There's no waiting for tomorrow to get the action done. There is only this time now for us to do this. And when you start living like that and you treat every person properly, with intent from your heart, good, those hasanats stack. It's not an afterlife. It's not after you die you get heaven or hell. It's that infinite blessings will start coming your way. The mansions of gold and the rivers of honey and all these things that it talks about in the Quran, they start coming your way because you're doing good with the energy that you've been provided. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying that it says that in your scriptures. But
if only you knew, if only you knew. That's got to be one of my favorite verses from the Quran, where it's God says, if only you knew. You know how many times in life you guys have been promised something where looking back, you wish you knew? Whether I wish I didn't take my youth for granted. I wish I took in the moment. If only we knew, bro. I really try to keep that in mind. Because if God says heaven is as good as it is, bro, if only we knew what was waiting.
And what's
for
your
us.
main message? What is a lantern? Where does the flame? Where does the flame live in a lantern?
You cannot have a discussion like this.
I got you. Hey, I'll go quiet for 10 minutes after. Hey, I promise you. I got you. I'll go quiet for 10 minutes.
And then
I'll go quiet for 10 minutes after. But what is a lantern?
Okay, I'll answer you.
And where does the flame live within the lantern? Is it inside of it or outside of it?
Sure. I'll answer you. The name originated or generally.
Well, I like Arab guys.
We're
good friends.
It's from a verse of the Quran actually. It talks about Allah being the light of the heavens and the earth, and then it gives a parable of the light of Allah as a lamp. And then you can read that verse in chapter 24 in the Quran. This is where I got the idea from, right? So Muslim lantern meaning that you spread the guidance, the light of God, because this verse in the Quran says that who Allah doesn't give the light of guidance will have no, right? This is the whole point about the channel. Channel is giving the light of guidance or revelation.
It says similar in the Bible. Matthew 6:22.
Okay, no worries.
But what is Matthew 6:22?
Absolutely. Now,
the eye is the lamp of the body.
Yeah, bro. Oh my God. God sent Jesus. Of course, there's going to be similar messages. You just can't distinguish what was actually the words of Jesus, the messenger of God, from what people added. So of course there's going to be similarities. No one disagrees with that.
It is all within you.
Actually, it's quite different. Now,
yes, and because you believe it,
and the Quran,
because you believe that. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I did. I got you. I said, I got you.
Let me speak. Okay. The verse of the Quran doesn't say the light is within you. It says the light is God. The light is Allah. And if Allah doesn't give you light, the whole point I'm trying to talk to you about revelation now. The light of revelation. If Allah doesn't give you the light, you have no light.
I agree with
Allah says, مَثَلُ نُورِهِ. Allah says, Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. مَثَلُ نُورِهِ, the example of His light. كَمِشْكَاتٍ فِيهَا مِصْبَاحٌ الْمِصْبَاحُ فِي زُجَاجَةٍ, to the end of the verse. And then it says, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَجْعَلِ اللَّهُ لَهُ نُورًا فَمَا لَهُ مِن نُورٍ. Who Allah does not give light, He will have no light. Now you can talk about a verse that talks about Allah inside you in the Bible. That's not the same thing at all. It's completely different. This is a parable about you, and the other is a parable about God and His light coming to you as a guidance. Now, I was smiling, not because I want to prove you wrong and this and that. We're having a discussion. I was smiling because you were misrepresenting the verses of the Quran. For instance, you said the Quran says the same thing. Guidance is within you or something like that. And then you go to a verse in the Quran, Surah Qaf, and then where it says that Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein. How does that mean the truth is within you? Allah closer to you here means in knowledge. In knowledge. This verse is speaking, if you read the entire verse, Allah says, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ وَنَعْلَمُ مَا تُوَسْوِسُ بِهِ نَفْسُهُ. Tell you the verse now from beginning to end. It says we created the human being and we know what he whispers in himself, what he speaks. You know when you speak inside you, nobody hears you? God hears you.
Whoa, wait. Repeat that.
I said, do you know,
I'm listening.
when you speak within yourself, that voice that you're speaking, these things that you're hearing, God can hear it, while nobody else can hear you, God can hear you.
Okay, so God hears everything within you.
Yeah, go ahead. You gotta let me finish, bro. Okay, So here Allah says in the Quran, وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ حَبْلِ الْوَرِيدِ, and we're closer to him than his jugular. Then Allah says, إِذْ يَتَلَقَّى الْمُتَلَقِّيَانِ عَنِ الْيَمِينِ. Then when the angels are taking the soul of the person. So Allah says, نَعْلَمُ know. This verse is about knowledge. Allah knows you. When He says closer to you than your jugular veins, it's reference to knowledge. God knows everything. What you think about in yourself, what happens to you at the moment of your death, what's happening to you right now, us speaking, God knows that. This is what the verse is referring to. So you cannot misrepresent that and say the truth is within you, which has, the verse is not saying that in any way, shape, or form.
I didn't misrepresent
And this is the
it.
whole point. No, you're misrepresenting
You said
the
it,
verse saying
and
that
you
the
repeated
Quran
it twice.
says, no, you said the Quran says
And then you
that
repeated
the
something
truth
from
is
the
within
Quran.
you. Yeah, no, I repeated the verse that you quoted, but fully in context. That's all I did. I just brought the context showing you that what you said is not what the Quran is saying. That's all I did. So, because you quoted it, I just recollected the verse from the verse before and the verse after.
Right,
So,
and the
Allah in the
context.
Quran in this case is not saying the truth is within you. But the point is, this comes back to where we were in the beginning. This kind of goes back for self. You cannot read this verse in the Quran and give us your own interpretation, Arab. When you go to a Muslim and tell him what you said, he will say to you, okay, can you show me what the Prophet said about this verse? Can you show me what the companions said about this verse? You're going to say, no, I just, was in the mountains for a while, like you said, and came to that conclusion. The Muslim will say to you, I can go to the mountain and come up with a different conclusion. And that's why one of the most prolific scholars in Islam, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he said that using intellect alone, which is what you're trying to say in this case, sitting alone and meditation, whatever, you saying meditation, connecting with God, I get what you're saying. But I'll tell you what Ibn Taymiyyah said.
You believe there's
He said,
only
using
intellect within
alone,
you? You don't believe there's an entire universe of organs that can heal itself, that makes you walk, that gives you energy, that
I
makes
believe
you
there's
think?
a biological body given to you by God that can heal itself. Yes.
You don't think
And
there's an
it's a sign
entire
from God that
system
God
inside
exists.
of you that can
But-
function
He's
on
not
its
alive?
own, and all it needs is a breath?
No, it doesn't function. It functions with the soul that God has given you and the body that you have created to
And
by
the
God.
soul
I
is
believe in
where?
all of that, but that has that's not what I was talking about.
Where- and the soul is
I
where?
completely believe in that. Sorry,
And the soul is where?
soul is within the body.
Okay, great. You're welcome to continue.
Okay. Yeah, I lost where I was. Wait, I'll try to come back anyway. All right. So the whole point I was saying is this: is revelation, the Quran and the Sunnah, the prophetic tradition is how we understand the Quran. We're not going to take someone's understanding. I was quoting Shaykh Islam ibn Taymiyyah. He said that you cannot come to the truth just through intellect, because if you
I
bring
agree
two
with you.
people, they will have each of them, each of them will have an opinion. You bring a third person, you have a third opinion. So you need revelation. Ibn Taymiyyah says the point that you're missing here.
And how do you get
Ibn Taymiyyah
revelation?
says- Again, you're missing the point. Ibn Taymiyyah says if you have 2 or 3 people disagreeing, there has to be something that brings them together. That is through revelation. How do you get revelation? Through the prophets of God. How do you know that what the prophet brought is revelation? Through establishing that what that prophet did, the miracles, the signs that each prophet does, and each book talks about these signs that these prophets do. Why? Why do these books keep saying that these prophets make signs? Why do these prophets keep making signs? The reason is to establish that they are true messengers coming from the Creator with a message to give you from God. So that's the point I'm trying to make to you. I was trying to tell you the Quran has these miracles or evidences which you can use to establish that Prophet Muhammad is a messenger. I was even just starting it by saying, take yourself back 1,400 years ago. But I couldn't even go past the fact that there was no cars 1,400 years ago. I mean, it's very hard to have a discussion at this point, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
because
we need to use common sense, Arab.
in order
Yeah.
to get to God, you don't use common sense.